Welcome to Zahera Speaks, a daily awakening check-in podcast. I am Sara Treadwell, and I'm really excited to be in this space with you to offer support and guidance through this great awakening. I am an awakening coach and spiritual guide, a psychic medium and channeler. I've been channeling Zahera since 2021. She is a non-physical being who is here to offer us support through this great awakening. I'm really excited to be able to hold this space each day for us to receive a message from Zahera to support us during this great awakening. Thank you for being here with me. I'm sending you so much love. I remember when I first started embodying Zahera and channeling her in that way. And it had to happen exactly the way that it happened. I had known for over a decade. Spirit had shown me that I was going to write a book called The Way of the Light. And they told me the chapter titles, so I knew that. And I had spent all of this time trying to figure out what that was. Being, if someone says, hey, this is what you're going to do with your life, and then you have and you're like, I don't know how that could be possible. I don't know what you're even talking about. And I tried really hard for a decade to do it. And I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't do it. And then one day, on what felt like a whim, I know it wasn't a whim, but it did feel like a whim, I get this idea to channel through my body, and Zahera shows up and introduces herself, and she says that she's going to tell me the way of the light. And she did tell me that she was an aspect of my soul that had never physically incarnated and never would. So obviously I understand to the level I can that means we are connected in that way. But what does that even mean, And there's a lot with like, well, who am I and who are you? And the reality is she started channeling this book that I had been waiting for, had not known what to do with, had not known what the information was. And she told me from start to finish all of the information. Every day I would be suspicious when we would show up to channels. I'd be like, I don't know this information. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know where we left off. And she would just pick up. She's like, okay, yesterday we said this. Now we're going to talk about that. Now we're moving on, finishing that and talking about this. And that was really important for my own journey of, is this real? What is this? What's happening? And then once I understood, I had accepted and felt like, okay, yeah, this is real. I didn't know any of this information. This is mind-blowing to me. It all had to happen in that exact way for my own acceptance. And then there was a period of time when I was wanting to give away all my power to Zahera, saying, in the sense that, okay, I need to give her message out, and she's so important, and she knows more than me, and so really just, look at this otherworldly energy or entity. Oh, you are so much better than me. Very, very normal human response, you're better than me, you're greater than me, so you should be the one. But then there was this resistance that came up in me that was like, no, I want to have a voice. I like me. I have worked hard to have my knowings and have my own ideas, and I don't actually want to just give away all of me to some other entity that's like, oh, look, I know more than you. So there's a big resistance that came up in me about that. each of these aspects were a different layer that I had to accept. People have asked before, are you Zahera, Sara? That's a hard question. Am I Zahera? No. I don't even know what she's talking about half the time. I'm shocked by the things she says. So, am I Zahera? She's an aspect of my soul. There's definitely a part of her that is also in me. What does it mean? Like, I was talking about this recently. I wish I could remember the name of it. Let me look it up. The ship of Theseus paradox. It asks if a ship remains the same after every part is slowly replaced because the boards are rotting out, right? Philosophers debate, is it the same ship? Some argue it's the same because of continuity, and like the function, like, oh, this is the ship. But others would say that it's an entirely new ship because it's made of new materials. And maybe that doesn't correlate directly with this experience I'm having with Zahera, but the idea that what makes me is I would say, my lived experience, my experiences here on earth at this point. I mean, not in a wholeness sense, sure, we're connected, we are one, we're all one. Okay, great. But I think it's really important for us. And I do think this is part of what, even me saying this to you now, part of this has come from messages I've gotten from Zahera in shifting how I look at myself, how we look at ourselves here on earth, that we are so important, that we are the ones here doing the work. And so, yes, am I Zahera? In some respects, sure. I'm also you in some respects, not to be dramatic, but I mean, yeah, I'm one with everything. And maybe I'm more one with Zahera, more closely connected with Zahera than I am with you, perhaps, right? But also I'm me. And that's really important. And I've put a lot of time and energy into becoming me. And so it feels a bit flippant to say, oh, Zahera's you. And it feels a bit frustrating at times to think, well, and I don't think this anymore, but when I thought, oh, I should give away my power because she knows more and she's better than me, or, I had to work through all of those layers. And the more that I work through the layers, the easier it is for me to say, oh yeah, Zahera is me. In some respect, it still makes me uncomfortable because she's also not me. It's a very trippy experience. I thought that today I was going to just give you a quick little rundown of my processing, and then we were going to get a message from Zahera. Maybe we are. Maybe this whole thing is a message from Zahera. But here we are. I don't think we need to get a message from Zahera in the way that I had desired when I started recording this. The other aspect of this that I've been working through more is, like, again, the more that I heal myself and move through my own limiting beliefs, my own fears, my own identity, the easier it is for me to see, oh yeah, oh, I see, Zahera and I are one, we are connected. But it's the same as how it's easier for me to see that I'm one with all of creation, I'm one with you, I'm one with everything, right? It's like the more that I accept myself, the easier it is for me to to accept my place with the all. Like the insistence on holding on really tightly to my own individual identity was really, really important and necessary, because that's a vital part of this process. But it wasn't, as I healed that, as I became deeper into my own knowing of myself and acceptance of myself, just that process allowed me to let go of that attachment, of that insistence. And so, where I began with this whole thing is I've been going through and feeling more integrated with Zahera. There is like a merging process that has happened over the years. One, I've learned from her, and I know that it was me learning from her because I did not know the things that she has said. I have learned so much. And so part of it is I just know what she would say. I know how she would answer. I have learned from her. And energetically, she has changed me. I again want to say like a merging process that has expanded me in a way that is also me. That is also a part of me and my story and who I am and what wasn't supposed to happen, and still feels very much me. But it's confusing because I feel more of her connected with me now. And I think maybe what I'm trying to say is it's like I'm letting go of some of the intensity that I had to hold. I don't know if I had to, but I did hold. I think I did have to, around our separation. But I also still think it's really important to know that at this point, still to me, we're very different. Just as every, let's say, past life that I've lived, I was me perhaps, but I was a different me. And I was a different. I was different. I wasn't me. Bashar says that that if we were faced with his people now, that we would be lost in their presence. We would lose ourselves. And I'm paraphrasing, of course, but he said, we here on earth right now don't know ourselves enough to be in the presence of those who know themselves so much. And that it's through us learning how to hold our own energy and know ourselves so fully that then when we're in the presence of other great energy, and I don't mean that they're better than us, I mean they're holding a frequency that is very powerful and important, but like grounded in themselves, that we won't be influenced by their energy because we will be holding that energy for ourselves. And you can see this even in our world now, where some people, when they're feeling really lost, can be, let's say, easily manipulated by really powerfully energetic people. They're charismatic, they're holding an energy that others are desiring and thinking, oh, look at they're holding that energy. I have to just do what they say because if they're holding this great energy. That's what I imagine happened when great beings would come to Earth and we would treat them like gods, because we'd be in the presence of their strong energy, their strong knowing of their own energy, and we would be kind of lost. And even when Zahera came through for the first time, that I thought, oh, look at this great energy. She's so wonderful, feeling her energy and knowing her and her information. And wow, she's so wise. There was a moment when I thought I should just give over my dreams for my life and be the channel for this being and let this being speak through me and give this wisdom, because I could never, right? And even Zahera was like, hey, that's not the goal. That's not what we're asking for here. But even with her saying that, it was very challenging for me, because at that point, when I started receiving messages from her, I still needed to work through a lot of my own. I mean, this was a part of me working through my own identity and holding my own energy. If I can withdraw, if I can pull out one message from this monologue today, and it goes along with what Zahera talks about a lot, and she shared in The Way of the Light, is really the greatest adventure we could take is to explore our own being, our own light, and honor ourselves. Revere ourselves. See ourselves as someone that we would want to look up to. You know, we are the ones. You are the one. You are a magnificent light. You are important. You are here for a purpose. And that purpose is to understand you, to be the you that you came here to be, to explore the universe that is you, to hold your power and your light so greatly that you could be the most you could possibly be, and love you the most you could possibly love. And when you do that, you radiate out this light and this being, and we inspire others to do the same for themselves. You show them the way, literally the way of the light, the information that Zahera came to share. You are the way of the light. Thank you for being here with me. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I love connecting with you, and I'd love to know any questions you might have for Zahera. You can send me your questions to zaheraspeaks@gmail.com. If you want to connect more, make sure to follow me on TikTok, YouTube, and Substack. And if you're looking for community, join me in the Great Awakening Collective, a private community for those on their awakening journey to connect, grow, and learn together. Check out the specific links in the description of this episode. I'm sending you so much love. Until tomorrow.